beautiful souls. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot. This is your fairy messages of love for today, May 23rd, 2022. It is 10:22 a.m. Thank you so very much for turning up and tuning in, for liking, subscribing, commenting, hitting the notification button, and sharing. Everything you do here helps this channel grow and is greatly, 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 greatly appreciated. So we are using the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue. Let's see what our beautiful, wonderful, amazing fairies have to say for us this morning, or say to us this morning. We very much appreciate the guidance, my beautiful fae friends. So we have two cards: Life Experience, the Eight of Summer. One more card, or two, whatever you think we should have here, Spirit. We have the Prince of Autumn and the Three of Spring. So let's get these situated. All right, so by doing a little bit of checking in our little book, the 16 in the traditional tarot is the Tower card. So this is all about sudden change, about letting go of belief systems or situations that no longer serve its purpose in your life. This is about an important life change or a situation that leads to significant opportunities. So in order to get change, we have to work on change, right? We can't allow everything to stay the same that no longer serves us and expect change to happen. So Tower moments come, I feel, and that's my favorite card in the tarot, is the Tower. Because when the Tower moment comes, I know that change is abound, and I know that it will push me to be able to make those changes, and it will push me out of my comfort zone in order to get the changes done. And one of the biggest changes I just went through in my life, I had the opportunity to do last year, but I didn't take that opportunity because fear kicked in, right? And so this year, last week actually, I made the move from California to Las Vegas, and that was the change that is going to kick me in the butt to get me to do more of my spiritual work, right? Work on myself and helping other people. So the Tower card, even though some people see it as, oh my God, the Tower card, I can't deal with any more of this. The Tower card allows you to recognize what you have to let go of, what no longer serves its purpose, what no longer is working for you, and then pushes you into that life-changing event, that situation that leads to significant opportunity. And then we have the Eight of Summer, which is walking away from what no longer serves you. So we have two cards here that talk about walking away. The Eight of Summer talks about the desire for a more meaningful life, to be recognized, to move on, to bring closure, life changes. So we have two opportunities here to move away from what no longer works for us and to move into a time of change. We have the Three of Spring. This is planning your next steps, right? Keeping an eye on the long term, and we all know that time is fluid, so it's thinking about what we want to do to move forward is a positive thing, as long as we're thinking positively about it and planning positively about it. But because time is fluid and things are always changing and we're always evolving, making plans for 5 years down the road isn't really feasible, you know, because sometimes we choose paths that doesn't get us to that picture that we have in our head of what our 5 years down the road looks like. So we have, you know, some people make vision boards, and they may say 5 years down the road, I desire to live in this particular place, in this particular house, have this particular car, and this particular job. Well, 5 years down the road, it's not that particular car, but it is a car. It's not that particular house, but it is a house. It's not that particular job, but it is a job. And it's not that particular relationship, but it is a relationship. So even though sometimes things don't go as you see them in your mind or as you picture them on that board, right? So keep an open mind when talking about the future, right? Be open to the flow and open to the change. So We also have satisfaction from a job well done, so being recognized for that. And then we have the Prince of Autumn, who is dependable and protective and chivalrous and humorous and kind, and not only kind to others, but this is a person who is kind to themselves, who is compassionate, who is protective over, I think this is more being protective over the plans that you make, and the protective over the energy of change, right? Because sometimes there are people who don't want us to change from the experiences that we are currently in, because when you change as an individual, that means the relationships change. And then if that relationship isn't designed to correlate with this change that you're going into, or the change of yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, then those people have then no one to resonate with, or no one who is connects with their story, right? Because some people take events in their lives and they make it that story, and they seek out other people who have gone through somewhat of the same event, and now they have stories to share, right? They feed each other's victim mindset, and they feed each other's ego. But because there's all of this release and change and significant opportunities coming your way, you're being directed away from the people who see their past as victimhood mentality. Because you're no longer in that energy. You're now in an energy of change and moving forward, right? And so because this no longer resonates with you and who you are, then people have a tendency to drop away, and then people start feeling alone and not seen. But then you have to put the energy out there to get the people who do resonate with you on your level, the level that you are transitioning to. So during this time, you're being guided to be kind and pay attention to detail, pay attention to the change, not allowing others to direct you in another course of change, which would be their course of change, not your course of change, right? So let's pull out some, what is this? Healing with the fairy cards. So we have quiet time. So going within. And we have magic of nature, spending time out in nature, grounding, cleansing your aura, your chakras, allowing yourself to become one, right? If it's you spend a lot of time near the ocean, allowing the ocean to cleanse you, right? If you spend a lot of time in the forest, allowing the forest to cleanse you, right? Becoming one with nature around you and becoming one with your inner child. They all just keep dropping. Like, I have a huge desk and they keep dropping on the floor. And then we have body movement, moving your body, having fun, enjoying nature, stepping into your inner child, being, you know how when you were a kid, I did a reading the other day for someone and I talked about this. You know how when you were a kid and you felt invincible, like nothing could touch you, and you felt magical, and you felt like you could conquer the world. I think that's what connecting to your inner child is. For me, that's what that is. Finding the innocence in everything, and then enjoying life, seeing everything through the eyes of magic, seeing everything through the eyes of innocence, seeing everything through the eyes of capable of doing this and capable of this change. And kids are they're just so, they're like a chameleon. They, you know, can change and adapt to the situation at any time. And some do it better than others, but kids are like that. I remember as a kid when, you know, we used to play barefoot in the woods and the swamps, and that's where I felt my most comfortable and my most energetic and my most powerful. And then we would have to go back home and adapt to the situation of being in a home with an abusive, you know, mother and father, and a psychotic brother. So and then, you know, my parents gave me away when I was 13 to an abuser, and I had to adapt to that. And then at the age of 19, 20, I got married to an abuser, and I was married to him for 5 years and had to adapt to that. So connecting with that inner child is all about, I feel, adapting to the situation at hand, and adapting to that tower moment, and adapting to the change, and adapting to planning your next step, but initiating fun and having patience and getting satisfaction from the small things in life, and then adapting to being dependable and protective, and finding again the humor in this world, in this life. Because if you can't find that, then you find yourself being miserable, and miserable is no fun, especially when you're going into a time of change and life-changing opportunities. So there you have it. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you today. Know that you're divinely guided and loved, and know that you're also protected, and know that great things are coming from you. And don't fear this change. Don't fear this change, and don't fear the significant opportunities that's coming your way. Know love, be love, give love. Until next time, I love you. Take care of you.